There we go. I said we'll start in about 4 minutes as people jump on. I was just wondering, do people fill out my survey questions here at all?
Yeah. Morning, Gene.
Well, hopefully you guys will fill out the survey questions. We can get great content in you for this one or next one.
Hey, Mark, you're back for round 2.
There we go.
Hey, good morning, Phil.
Oh,
Hey, Phil.
David. Hey, Alan.
Mr. Dublé, how you doing, sir? Haven't
Doing
seen you
well.
for a couple of months.
Yeah.
How you been?
Drinking from the fire hose. All good.
That's good, man. We got more fire hose for you today.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a couple of meetings, so I'm gonna have to. I'll hang out as long as I can, but then I have to.
Yeah, we'll have a replay anyway, so
Awesome.
cool, man.
Morning, Gene and Sean.
Good morning.
Where are you from?
I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, but right now I am up north near Halliburton, Ontario, at my cottage.
Cool.
Oh, there you
I'm a
go.
lucky guy.
I'm from
Yeah.
Toronto myself. What part of Toronto you live in?
I'm at King of Bathurst, King of Portland. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, nice.
Turn on my brief video. So if you,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see the video, but that.
Nice,
Where I
nice country there.
Oh, yeah.
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 Beautiful, yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, thanks for. I mean, this is one of the first ones I've joined, so I appreciate the invite.
Nice.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What's your business?
We have two. So briefly, I'm an innovation consultant. So we go into we used to build accelerator programs, and then we found out that large corporations were self-prescribing accelerators and hackathons, and we would ask them why. We can build you one, but why? And they would say, well, because we want to be innovative. Okay, why? We don't know. So we had to go upstream and actually go into the actual and be more of a consultant, kind of like a McKinsey, but with a very specific set of regarding innovation. So we go into large companies, we write innovation strategies for them, and then we build, operate, and transfer these programs. And the other business we're building is a VC venture capital firm that uses the startup visa program to bring excellent entrepreneurs and companies from around the world, because we don't believe that the best companies have to come from Silicon Valley or New York or Toronto or Waterloo, and we bring them here to land and expand their business in North America. That's what
Nice. Good for you. Well, I'm hoping you learned some great stuff about email marketing and following up, and especially about LinkedIn, because there's 880 million people on there now, so it's just a matter of leveraging that huge database for your company. And I'm going to be teaching some great information for that today. Okay, David, it's 10:05. You want to start this?
There's gonna be a recording of this that I can refer back to.
There is.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Dave, let's start. Well,
All
I
right,
want to welcome everybody to the Marketing Your Business, Your Roadmap to Success. I am Alan Fine with my partner in crime, David Saxby. Say hi, Dave.
Hey, everybody. Good morning.
Yeah. So today we're going to take the fear of online marketing, and most people tell us they haven't jumped onto the strategies we're teaching because like LinkedIn is too complicated, it thinks it'd be too costly. You don't want to pay for anything you don't use, and and also a lot of people we find want stuff done for them. So we transferred our model we're going to talk to you about this later on today, about helping you out by actually doing things for you. And the way the webinar is going to go today is going to be a total of almost 90 minutes, 2 minutes on us, 73 minutes of great actual actionable information. So make sure you have a pad of paper and a pen to write this down. When I tell you how we can help you, and then give you a Q&A time at the very, very end to make sure we answer all your questions. So if you have questions, please write them down. We're taking those in the middle and at the very end of our presentation today. And like I said before, we're going to try to help you also. So who are we? Well, my partner in crime, David Saxby, is a phenomenal communications manager. He's been in sales and marketing forever. For 40 years, he's been helping entrepreneurs, and he's a professional speaker. And David's going to teach you all about marketing strategies, and especially about analyzing your current business and showing you where you're leaving money on the table.
And Alan has been in the marketing game for 25 years, digital marketing side, website design, and LinkedIn. 14 years of that as LinkedIn trainer and expert. And he's going to share his information with you today about how he leverages LinkedIn to attract clients and also to build a database for your business. So
yeah. And so, yeah, that's the biggest thing about LinkedIn is you can use their database and, you know, to build your list on LinkedIn, because all they say is the money's in the list, right? So, David, go ahead.
Yeah, so if we're looking at business today, probably most of you can say your business has been Uberized. In other words, how has your business changed, or what has changed your business over the past little while, especially with the pandemic? And so I'm going to show you some strategies on, even though your business has changed, how you can attract leads, convert leads, and create paying customers. So we have a 5-step profit formula. And what that simply is taking your clients or your contacts, your leads that you get, and put them through a process to be able to build a successful business by attracting clients and retaining them. So the first part, we look at the foundation of your business. Do you have the right strategy and the right process and system to be able to attract clients and retain clients? We look at the lead generation aspect. How do you generate leads? And we're going to show you some ways you can generate leads. And then what typically happens with a lot of business, they get leads, they don't know what to do with them. So they have to convert them to create more transactions. And from that process, hopefully build your client base, build your sales, and create more profits. So we have a proprietary software program called the Profit Acceleration Software. We can actually do an analysis of your current marketing and sales and determine from that what areas you can enhance in the area of sales and marketing to be able to grow your business. So as you can see here, this is just a screen capture of our software, but we look at up to 48 different areas within a business to do an analysis, and we can predict a profitable growth in those various areas based on adding some strategies and approaches. The interesting part in most cases is you're not adding any additional cost in marketing. You're simply just looking at different areas that you can build revenues through. So from a foundation perspective, the first part is do you have the right strategy? Many businesses get into business because they have a skill set, or business owners get into business because they have a particular skill set. They get into business and they're just like their competitors. And that's not a successful formula. You need to have the right strategy. Secondly, you need to have what's called a market dominating position. And that simply just means what makes your business different from any of your competitors, such that the client says, I need to do business with this company. Thirdly, you need to have the right policies and procedures in place, systems in place, so that you can automate a lot of your marketing, simply because we don't have time to do everything manually these days, even with staff, very difficult. And the last part is in marketing today, it's not about just going directly to the customer and selling immediately. It's about building trust, creating an expertise that people understand and appreciate, and educating customers such that they go, well, I've got all this information, and it seems to be that this company, this individual is providing something worthwhile. Why would I not do business with this company? So if we look at the market dominating position, here's a good example, having the right business strategy. Take a look at Uber. they were a better option to taxis. Pretty simple. They were classy. The vehicles were clean. They had black branding, which was classy looking branding and exclusive and luxurious. And they diversified into several other areas, including UberX, Uber Pool, and now, of course, Uber Delivery for restaurants. And so their competitor, the startup company, Lyft, had to do something that made them stand out and create a market dominating position. Their branding and culture was opposite. It was fun, it was upbeat and bright colors. They had bright pink fuzzy mustaches on their vehicles. Riders could sit up front and talk to drivers as opposed to sitting in the back. And the drivers were fun and interesting and entertaining. So a very different style, which created a different market niche and gave them a market dominating position. So from a market dominating position, the right marketing and sales strategy means you have to have a brand that's identifiable and stands out. You need to have the correct message to the market such that they understand the value you offer. You need to have the right offer, in other words, something that appeals to customers. And typically what happens with the offer is we start with something that's, say, a smaller offer, and then we can build up to larger offers. We'll talk about that shortly. We also need the right media and the right timing with the market. So from a lead generation perspective, the typical things that happens with most businesses is they approach the market with a tactical approach. In other words, they say, I'm going to do some social media, or I might do some direct marketing, I'm going to place some ads, and so on and so forth. That's the wrong approach. We need to flip that around and say, what's the strategy we want to use to reach this customer, this prospect, in the right time frame with the right media? Then the tactics become clear. So there's also an assumption that tactical lead generation, like placing ads and so on and so forth, is faster, easier to do. But it's also the opportunity to waste a lot of money and time not doing the right thing. So we need to have a system in place based on a strategic approach to the market. So being strategic is what you say and how you say it is critical to attracting the right customer. The marketing medium is secondary, and it's where you say it, where you say that information. So from a more leads perspective, do we have a referral system? In other words, do we have other people bringing us leads through referrals? Do we have joint ventures and alliances with other businesses that might be related? So for instance, take a chiropractor and massage therapist. Makes sense that they work together as a joint venture. Do we have publicity and promotion that we can do through various media channels? Do we use direct marketing? So that could be telemarketing, that could be mail. Mail still works. Do we use advertising? And if we do advertise, where do we advertise such that we gain a large part of the market? And do we use digital marketing? Many people are using digital marketing, but they're only using sporadic efforts in those channels. And so there's lots of other options. So from a more leads perspective, in the digital platform, you can see that there are a lot of options. Many people dabble in social media. A key, and I'll talk about this a little bit as well, is LinkedIn is best for business to business. Facebook is better for business to consumer. So if we look at all of our options, which options are the largest portion of our customers going to come from, and where can we focus our efforts? Because obviously, unless you're a multinational company with huge budgets, it's very difficult to be in all these channels all the time. The other thing is consistency. So typically what happens too is that poor lead generation results, business owners often blame the marketing medium. So the tactical part of the plan, they go, oh, well, I placed some ads on Facebook and LinkedIn and nothing happened, and they stop. So it's a long-term strategy that you need in place to be able to make it successful. Also, one of the challenges with messaging is that most business owners rely on platitudes. lowest prices, best services, family owned and operated, convenient hours, best value, been in business since blah, 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 blah. Problem with that is that's what every other business says. So you're not standing out. So from a more conversions perspective, you take the leads, but you need to go through a process. Do you have a compelling offer? Can you start out with a smaller offer and attract customers to use that smaller offer, which is low risk, and then lead them to a larger package or larger product and services? Do you have scripts that you use for the telephone, for your messaging by email, and so on? Do you build scripts that you can use so you're consistent all across the board, especially if you have staff and people that work with you? Are you all singing from the same song sheet? And what's your initial close ratios? Are you getting 1 out of 10 leads? Are you closing 2 out of 10? What do your close ratios look like? And then from that perspective, when you do get a prospect, how often do you follow up and talk to that prospect? One of the strategies we've used very successfully with clients is what we call a drip campaign, which is simply using an email program to deliver multiple message over a period of time. And the key here is to add value. It's not about pitching people through the email. It's about giving them information that makes them understand the process and add value to them, such that they go, well, gee, I got all this information that seems to be very helpful. Wonder what else that company can do. And from a more transactions perspective, so we get the leads, we convert the leads, and then we have to take those leads and turn them into paying customers. So what does our sales team do? Or are we the sole salesperson? And how does that function? We look at how many appointments can we book. So typically with most businesses, we get busy, we stop booking appointments. So we've got to have some sort of a system to be able to allow people to book appointments with us. Do we have additional products and services we can offer? If we don't, can we create a joint venture or an alliance that can share products and services with us, and we can perhaps get a percentage of the sale, something to that effect? Can we increase the frequency of purchase? Some businesses, customers may buy once in 5 years. So we need to look at how can we increase the frequency of purchase. Can we downsell? And downsell simply means if a price that you're offering is too high, what can you offer at a slightly lower price that will get the customer to commit to buy? And can we reactivate former customers? Many times customers go away because they're just not feeling like they're being looked after, or they may go away and try the competition because the price is cheaper or better products and services. How can we bring them back? And last of all, more profits. How do we generate more profits? Well, one is we can cut our costs, particularly in the areas of sales and marketing. Are there ways that we can reduce the amount of time, energy, and effort, as well as cost, to be able to attract clients? Can we bundle products together? So if we have several different products, can we put them together in a package and create a special offer for people? Can we upsell and cross-sell? So upsell simply means, if people are interested in a particular product, can you offer something that's a slightly higher price, which gives them more value? So this typically happens at a car dealership. You go into a car dealership, you see this beautiful car sitting on the floor. It's got all the bells and whistles. And, you go in, you start out and you go, oh, that's too high. So then they add in the paint coating, the tires, so on and so forth. And cross-selling simply means, can we allow customers to purchase something or provide an opportunity for customers to purchase something in addition to what we're offering, or something that's parallel to what we offer? Can we increase the longevity of buying relationships? So if customers are typically buying a product once a year, can we keep them for 10 years? Many of my customers I've worked with over a 10-year period simply because I keep helping them achieve more, grow their profits, and building that opportunity. Can we increase our prices? Typically, most businesses are concerned that if they increase prices, they're going to lose customers. And in most cases, the increase in price is not going to drive customers away. The other way of looking at it is to add a little more value that doesn't cost you any money. So the key to success in any marketing, in any business, is first of all, create a market dominating position, something that's unique, something that stands out. Then converting those clients, and we have a conversion formula we use in messaging. We'll share that with you shortly. Provide a compelling information offer. So in other words, information, not selling, but giving people useful information that will help them solve a problem that they have, and build a strategic marketing campaign. So we have 8 different strategies we use to help that 5-step profit formula. And about 95% of the businesses I work with can use these strategies. First is to make your advertising work. Second is to build your business fast by using joint ventures, and then upselling and cross-selling to increase profits, expanding your products and services to increase customer revenue with individual customers, downselling your way to success, so building more revenue based on volume, and how to create a drip campaign that keeps customers in the loop for the time that they're going to buy, and then stop discounting. So in many cases, we're discounting thinking that that's going to convince a customer. No, value is the key. And then how to cut costs and unnecessary expenses to increase revenues. So here's the conversion formula. And this is simply a formula that's used in advertising and has been used for quite some time. First of all, you got to interrupt people. You got to get into their head and build a niche in their brain that says, this is different, I got to pay attention to this. Secondly is to engage them. So the interrupt is the headline. The engage is the subheadline, and it's the benefit aspect. Then we've got to educate customers and present evidence that we are the company they need to do business with. And last of all, an offer that's compelling and irresistible. So that's the 4-step formula. So if we look at this ad, what a great ad. Best time to get braces. Think about it, the pandemic, most people are wearing a mask, so nobody knows you have braces. That catches people's attention. So the offer I was talking about is what we call an incentive offer. And that's simply something like buy one, get one free, offer a percentage discount, gift with purchase, free service. So these are all changing your pricing. And the challenge with this and the disadvantage with this is you're sacrificing price integrity and profitability with the hope that you're going to attract customers that are bargain shopping. It's easy to do a comparison shop. And it also only appeals to the buyers who are wanting to buy right now, which is about 1 to 3% of the market. And it trains customers to only respond to offers. The other thing that typically happens, and professionals are typically known for this, is that they don't really place an offer in the market. They just simply talk about what they do, and then they say book an appointment or contact us and get some information. Well, most customers don't want to contact somebody until they have something that convinces them this is the right business to do business with. So you can see here, it's a phone number, a contact form. There is a little bit of an offer to get a consultation, but again, that's selling before you've actually convinced the customer to buy. So an informational offer is a better approach. If we look at mortgage broker as an example, providing a free report that helps people make a decision about a mortgage. Here's an idea guide from a sunroom company. So it helps people decide on what they want to do from the perspective of different sunroom ideas and concepts. This is another one where people can do a self-assessment in their personal financial situation. Here's an example of a home remodeling company. So it talks about all of the things you need to consider when you're remodeling your house and those choices that you can make to be able to remodel and avoid challenges and costs. So the advantage with this builds trust. There's no sales. It's just simply providing information. It establishes a relationship with the customer first so that they can make a decision to connect with you, and it offers evidence of those claims that you have for your business. And it appeals to future buyers so that other 99 to 97% of prospects. So buyers have a resistance to buying, and it goes from, as you get closer to the buying period, what typically happens is the threshold of resistance goes up. So if we look at the benefit of ownership, why should I buy? That's future buyers. If we look at the soon to buy, they're looking at objections to ownership. So why shouldn't I buy? And the now buyers are looking at vendor selection. Who should I buy from? So if we look at the number of buyers ready to buy, as I've mentioned, there's about 1 to 3% who are looking to buy right now. 7%, perhaps the next 30 days, 30% the next 6 months, 30% on top of that, the next 2 years, and 30% will never buy from you. So that's 97% of the market. So why are we in a dogfight for 3%? Why don't we market to the other 97%? So here's an example of an informational offer for a chiropractor. Typically, most chiropractors on their website have call me, book a free exam, schedule an appointment. But what if they offered something like an informational offer that had a free back pain report, which talks about a revolutionary new treatment which cures back pain forever? That's a low entry point. So we're going to talk about 2 of the 8 strategies that I mentioned earlier. First is, how do we make our advertising work for us? Second of all, how do we create a revenue producing drip campaign? So let's take a case study of a client we worked with, which had an original website, not a bad website, but very similar to most other chiropractors or most other practitioners. Parenting advice and resources from Dr. John Smith, and he specializes in 9 different areas, like all of his competition. So here's the original video script that was on his website. Greeting parents, my name's Dr. John Smith. I want to welcome you to Remarkable Parenting. You'll find tons of great information here, hundreds of pages of articles, and 9 areas of expertise. Not very specific and not really easy for parents to navigate and decide what they want to do. And then he says, call for a free consultation. So we created a landing page for him and targeted a specific thing that parents may be dealing with with their child. So, are you sick and tired of yelling and screaming, belligerent attitude of your child? Now you can discover the secrets of controlling your child's and instantly restoring peace and quiet in your home. Learn the secrets in less than 60 seconds. This is the key. So the interrupt is the headline, the engage is the benefit that he offers, the educate is here's a free 60-second tip that will help you. And then the offer is sign up for the tip sheet. And you can see we changed the video script. As a parent, you're struggling to gain control of your child's attitude and emotions. Is your child yelling and screaming at you? Most parents probably say yes. My name's Dr. John Smith. I help parents like you. And then enter your name and email at the box to the right, and I'll send you a series of 60-second techniques that will immediately restore peace and quiet in your home. Most parents would probably say, yes, I want that. 60 seconds, I can do that. So here's what happened. Typically, he was getting an average of 300 leads per month with the web page, an average of 10% book to consultation. Out of that, 3 became new patients. And that represents the typical 1% conversion. So using what we call a landing page, and a landing page is very different from a website in that it focuses on one thing. So you can have multiple landing pages with different focus points and be able to track different clients for different needs. So if we look at the numbers here, with the landing page, we now had 20% requested the offer. That became 6 new patients at an average sale of about $800, and that became $2,400 per month in increased revenue. So as a practitioner in that field, that was $28,000 in annual revenue increase. Could you do that with your business? Can you see your business increasing the revenues based on generating more leads? So here's how this worked. 300 leads became 60 opt-ins for the free offer, and that became 6 new clients. That meant that 54 qualified prospects did not engage his services yet. So here's where the drip campaign comes in. We put the 54 prospects into a drip campaign and provided additional information, not selling, and created 2 new patients per month. So that meant that out of that was 3,600 prospects, which produced 156 new clients in the year. So I won't read this to you, but you can see what happens here is they put the 54 into the funnel, and we get 2 new customers. And so that meant the next time around, we now had 52 people who had not bought, and so on and so forth. So it simply just meant keeping all of those prospects in the funnel until they decided to buy. So that meant for the psychiatrist that there was 30 new patients every month. Is that something you could handle in your business? So using our profit acceleration software and looking at the analysis of what we did with the what was happening initially and then what we did to increase revenues, you can see here that there was only 4 areas, and this is out of 48 different possible areas that we analyzed to increase revenues. And as a result, what happened is that business went from $250,000 in revenue per year up to $402,000 per year, simply by increasing some of the methodologies in the marketing process, creating the landing page and generating more leads. So there we go. So again, keep in mind with this is not exponential growth. We're not talking 100% growth for business. We're talking very small percentages of increase in the various areas that we focus on, and being everything from about 1% to 2 or 3% increase in some of the areas of marketing and sales to grow revenues. And so in each of those different areas, the more leads, the foundations, the more conversions, the more transactions, the more profits, you can see the combined effort of looking at all those different areas is about 10% per area. So the 5-step profit formula is simply looking at the foundation of your business. Do you have the right product, the right services? Do you have the right market, right message? And going through that process and generating leads, and then last of all, looking at where we can grow the profits based on what we're currently doing. So we go from generating leads using various techniques and approaches in marketing to more conversions. So helping people decide whether they want to continue communicating with us, to generating more transactions, then that just simply keeping in touch with customers until they're ready to buy. And then looking at how can we increase profits? And those are doing things like upselling, cross-selling, add-on selling, increasing the length of time we work with customers, perhaps having a joint venture with other businesses that make sense to connect with that market, and so on. So from that perspective, we do an analysis using our software program called Profit Acceleration Software when we work with clients. From that, we're able to look at different areas where we can help clients grow their business through various marketing and sales efforts. And then how do we retain the customers and continue to keep those customers in the loop? So on that note, be happy to take any questions that you have, and then we'll move to the LinkedIn portion of this presentation. So if you'd like to ask a question, just unmute yourself. Or you can
type in the chat box.
Yeah, or pop it in the chat box, exactly.
Okay. Well, if you have any questions at the very, very end also, we'd be happy to answer them for you. Let's move on to the LinkedIn portion of our presentation here, keeping it going. And so my first thing is, maybe in the chat box, type a yes or no, a Y or an N. How many of you are using LinkedIn for lead generation or marketing? And do you think you're using it properly? So just type in a yes or no, a Y or N in the chat box on Zoom. And so we got yes, 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 no, 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 not sure. Yeah, so many people tell me on LinkedIn they think they might be using it possibly, right? They're not quite sure because LinkedIn is just so freaking confusing. I got into business myself 14, 15 years ago with LinkedIn because LinkedIn, as you all know, and all have figured this out here, is terrible at putting out information about their own website and about what's happening as far as new features and things. LinkedIn changed their platform totally with a total revamp of how it looked about 4 years ago. And they didn't produce any great information on the website about how to navigate LinkedIn. So, I came into LinkedIn almost by accident. A buddy of mine told me about LinkedIn because they said it was going to be big. I saw the writing on the wall personally right away as far as what could possibly happen. LinkedIn started in 2003 and was sold in 2016 for $26 billion. That's a great return on investment. I wouldn't mind getting a $26 billion return for only 13 years of work. LinkedIn has 880 million users on it currently, with only a very, very small percentage of people using LinkedIn on a regular basis. If nothing else, I can tell you right now, if you take LinkedIn very seriously and get on there in a big way, you have a huge advantage over your competition. Because, like I said before, only a very small percentage of people on LinkedIn are actually using it on a regular basis, which means you can corner your own market. And also, a great thing about LinkedIn is the people on LinkedIn have more money. So the average world net worth of a Facebook user per year is about $35,000. On LinkedIn, it's about $77,000. So, people on LinkedIn not only have, decision-making power, but also have more money to do it. You can tap on a powerful job board, people looking for a job. You can build your brand and huge network. I have articles on Google that have ranked very well from LinkedIn. And, you can type in, stop trying to get me on bed in the first date on Google, and you'll see my LinkedIn article. It has a great Rolodex on it. Research companies and employees. It can help you tap into industry news as far as what happens to people. You can even put hashtags on LinkedIn in the search bar to see what's trending out there. So, and then for marketing and lead generation, I'm just going to end the show for a second here and go here for a second. For instance, if I go to LinkedIn, and I'm not sure if you guys knew this at all, but you can type in a hashtag on LinkedIn in the search bar. Let's say hashtag marketing, and it has a auto fill here to tell you what people are actually looking at on LinkedIn as far as what the most important articles or what's actually trending on LinkedIn. So marketing digital, marketing agency, marketing and advertising. And we put one of these hashtags into the search bar on LinkedIn. You can see that anything that has to do with marketing, as far as people who put hashtags into their posts, show up on the feed here. So all these different articles and things that have hashtag marketing in them is where you can find information on LinkedIn. So we want to know what's trending on LinkedIn. For instance, if we put hashtag LinkedIn, So LinkedIn marketing, LinkedIn leads, LinkedIn itself. LinkedIn marketing is about, overrates LinkedIn itself. So all you got to do is put hashtags in the search bar there, and you can see what people are looking for, what people are talking about on LinkedIn. It's pretty phenomenal what you can do with this. From current slide. So your profile is the most important piece of real estate. And actually anybody who wants me to do a live profile audit right now in front of everybody else with your permission and go over your profile and tell you what's right and wrong on it, just put your profile address into the chat box right now, and I will be happy to go over your profile with you live right now. So just type your or pop your LinkedIn profile into the chat box. Here we go. Thank you, Shell. So let's take a look at Shell here right now. So she is a divorce specialist, obviously. The biggest things is when people go to your profile, they want to know 4 things, which we'll talk about from a outside client perspective looking in, is who are you, what do you do, what can you do for me, and why should I use your services as opposed to anybody else on LinkedIn. So probably, Shell, the first thing I would do is your picture, which is okay, but you want to probably make it a little closer, and also make your head at the very top over here not have so much space at the top of your picture there, as well as answer those 4 questions on your banner. Who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And why should I use your services as opposed to anybody else on LinkedIn who is also a divorce specialist? You can see Shell has done the right thing with her company page. Many people have this little piece over here blank. They have maybe their company page name, but the actual logo is blank. And you can see Shell has actually filled out her company page on LinkedIn. But I would probably put the same kind of banner on the company page as you do on your profile. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making on LinkedIn is not having the same branding on their website, company page, and also their profile on LinkedIn. So having a very, very similar thread, similar messaging also. Going down a little further, looking at things like your contact info, right? So I want to get a hold of you right away. I don't see anything on here like a Calendly link, like a phone number. So you might want to add those things onto your profile to make sure people can find you and you're easy to get a hold of. How many of us have gone on people's profiles? They look great, and I want to call this person. I want to contact them right away. No email address, nothing at all, right? So, make it easy for people to find you. And then conversely, people told me, well, I don't want people spamming me. Well, think about the old adage of people not training their employees properly because they give employees great training. They will leave the company and go to my competition. But then I asked them, well, if you don't train your employees, what kind of customer experience will your potential clients be getting? The same thing for LinkedIn. If people can't easily contact you through your profile by having the right information on your contact info, they'll just go next, right? Now, the other things, featured. I'm not sure this information is up to date. And then activity, see all activity, go to posts, and how often are you posting? So this is from 2 days ago. That's awesome. Looks like Shell is posting on a regular basis every couple of days, which is great. But looking at your posts and seeing, what kind of engagement are you getting? Well, you got 21 comments this one, but only 12 likes, and it doesn't say how many views you got. This one over here has 4 likes. This one over here has 6 comments, 6 likes. So, you got to really think about what's getting engagement for you. The way the LinkedIn algorithm works, and I'll talk about this more in the content marketing piece of my presentation, is within the first hour of you posting your content on LinkedIn, what kind of engagement does your content get? LinkedIn initially rolls your content out to about 10% of your audience. And if you start getting some great engagement on it within the first hour, it rolls out to more of your first connections. And then if it gets phenomenal engagement, it rolls out your content to your second and third connections also. So it's very, very important that you have that information. Great. Next thing over here is your about section. Does your about section, once again, answer these things? It looks like your about section, answers a fair amount of the information, and then I'll do have your phone number and connect information over here, which is fantastic. So all I do is put the same information on your contact information and make it easy for people to contact you. The last thing I can say, and we'll talk about this more later on, is recommendations. You have one recommendation in January 2021. So have you not helped anybody else at all? So reach out to people with recommendations. Very, very important on LinkedIn to do that. Okay, so cover banners and photos. Everybody said they're saying you only get one chance to make a first impression. How many of you have gone to the LinkedIn, my network section over here, and I have no pending invitations right now, but how many of you have either accepted or not accepted someone's invitation to connect with you simply because of either their profile picture, which shows up over here in the pending invitation section, or you go to their profile and you go, well, the person's headshot or the person's cover banner isn't that spectacular. I'm not going to accept their connection request. And if people don't accept your connection request, really nothing happens afterwards, right? So it's very, very important that you have a phenomenal headshot and a phenomenal cover banner. I help people by making those for them all the time. Here's some examples of what I feel are fantastic cover banners. Mine, obviously, this guy over here, for Freddie Ravel, Amplify Your Business, Life and Tune Lessons from Legend. He's worked with Earth, Wind, and Fire. He's a Tony Robbins type speaker that uses music in his presentations. This is a nice cover banner for a conference coming up, and you can change your cover banner whenever you want to, so it doesn't have to be there forever. I love Jenny's over here with all different types of shots of her on the cover banner. This one is artsy logo, concept, marketing, communication, graphic design. Ashley Jones, Winning Smile, Build Business That Matters, and Architect Stories. So all these cover banners, really speak to you. And, as you can see, the most important part of people's cover banners and headshots is you are smiling and look professional. So you don't have to necessarily have a professional headshot taken. You can use your smartphone, because smartphones nowadays usually have phenomenal cameras in them, but make sure you're dressed appropriately. Make sure you have, if you're a business consultant or a business professional, make sure you're wearing business attire. But also if you're, running a resort business or let's say a hotel in Mexico, you're wearing tropical attire. Maybe you have a tropical drink in your hand. So it's very, very important that you have your LinkedIn profile highly optimized. And the great part about it is, as you scroll down your profile, LinkedIn will actually tell you how optimized your profile is and what part of your profile you need to actually work on. And what you're looking for is a all-star 100% done profile. If people are searching for your type of service on LinkedIn, a 100% completed profile will have a 132% increase in profile views. With a fully completed profile, you are 3 times more likely to be coming up in people's search appearances. And it's great because LinkedIn once again shows you what to do. Your professional headline. So here's my professional headline here on my profile on LinkedIn. So I don't just have, I'm the owner of my company. This is what I have for my professional top title. So once again, the 4 questions: who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And why should I use your services as opposed to anybody else? So how many of you would like 5 to 15 new sales calls every single week from using your LinkedIn profile for lead generation? That would probably be, a game changer for many of you on your accounts to have those kind of numbers coming in. Once again, who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? People often will tell you also, they'll say Dave or John or Susan or whatever your name is, I love using your services because of ... When people tell you why they like using you, or maybe you can even ask them, when you have a client call or maybe put out a survey, write it down for yourself. That's the gold that no one ever really tells you usually, but you should be using for yourself on your headline, to tell you why are you unique. I want to often ask my clients, why are they unique on LinkedIn? They often don't know. So really got to think about that one really hard. Ask your friends, ask your family, ask your associates, ask your clients, why am I different? LinkedIn SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and usually it's used to be ranked on Google, but also LinkedIn has their own type of SEO. If you put the key phrases that your audience is using to find you, like professional accountant or marketing expert, or in my case, LinkedIn lead generation expert, I'll use a smattering of those key phrases within my title as well as within my about section to make sure that when people search for those key phrases, I'm found on page 1 and top of their feed. Also use the language of your industry and field, but don't make things too complicated for your clients. I've often seen people put, very, very complicated terms and phrases on their profiles, saying that their clients or potential clients or industry knows this, but maybe someone starting out in your industry and doesn't know what that phrase means. So keep it simple. Don't dummy it down too much, but don't make it so high end you need a PhD to read your profile. Here's some headlines of other people. I equip businesses to 10 times their end user interactions, boosting sales, leads, conversions, and collections. I help individual companies create video content to generate growth, leads, and revenue on LinkedIn. And then I'll call to action, direct message me today, right? So, in your summary, your about section, you want to answer those questions, as well as in the rest of your LinkedIn profile, have even on your experience section for your company page, what are the benefits of working with you? What can you do for me? That's the question people want to know. When they come to your profile, what can you do for me? Make sure you have that information and you answer those questions on your profile, which is the most important piece of real estate on LinkedIn. Your summary or your about section is not about a job description. Make sure you have the benefits, not features. Features are like, I've been in business 25 years and I have these awards and these doctorates, and that's important also, but really people want to know, what can you do for me? So here's my summary on LinkedIn. Here's my profile. I actually added this a little arrow and the follow button recently on LinkedIn because I set my profile to follow. As I do my video creation and marketing, I want more followers. I've seen associates of mine on LinkedIn, get hundreds of thousands of followers on LinkedIn on a regular basis. For instance, this guy over here, one of my LinkedIn people I talk to, he started out with maybe 20,000 people on the LinkedIn profile, and now a year and a half later, 180,000 plus followers on LinkedIn, mostly from creating video content. Just look at the engagement he's getting on his posts on LinkedIn, which is video posts, which I'll talk about more about later on in here. 43,000 views, 439 comments, 2,050 likes. So it's possible to get those kind of engagement numbers for yourself also. It's just a matter of, are you creating content on LinkedIn that people resonate with? Cool stuff. Let me just turn that off right here. So, what are your customers' pain points in your about section? What are the problems you solve? Can you use case studies possibly to show people what you have done for potential clients for yourself? Here are some more profile headlines. David, you could possibly pop that into the chat box here. Oh, you did it already? That's awesome. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. He's on the ball. Rich media content. So here are some of my videos I created on LinkedIn. And, you should have tons of rich media on your profile on LinkedIn, as opposed to just, static posts. Here is, once again, my profile on LinkedIn. And as you can see, I have lots of rich media in my feature section. Here's a video I created recently on LinkedIn about, make sure my sound is on. Yeah.
Help! I've been put in LinkedIn jail and I can't get out. Have you been put in LinkedIn jail and now you have a LinkedIn restriction on your account? If you're using LinkedIn for lead gen—
So recently I got in LinkedIn jail. It was a mistake on LinkedIn's part, but almost couldn't get out of there. I thought my profile was suspended permanently, and I had someone help me out to get me in touch with actual LinkedIn. So if you possibly know anybody who's been put in LinkedIn jail or have their profile suspended, I can probably help them out, have them contact me. I'd be happy to help them. But video content, you can see, now I'm not getting the kind of numbers Jonathan is yet, but I got 40 comments, 3,600 views, 802 likes. So once again, it's really, really important that you take this video creation thing seriously, because video is the future of LinkedIn. I've actually been on, a phone with people on LinkedIn, and so has other people, and they're telling us video is very, very important. As you can see, I have, tons of rich media on my profile. Also, what is your SSI score? So David, if you can pop this into the chat box here. Dave? So Dave's going to pop that link in there into the chat box.
Yep, we'll do that in just a second, Alan.
Awesome, buddy. So, SSI score is social selling index. It's how do you rank on LinkedIn as far as how are you engaging with your possible prospects. And you're looking for a social selling index score of 80 or higher, which means that you're doing very, very well on LinkedIn. I think mine's about 86 right now. Another little trick I found is that commenting, sharing, and liking other people's posts on LinkedIn. I'm going to show you here what I'm talking about exactly. So if I go to LinkedIn or go to the feed, home feed here, and let's say I go to this guy's post here. He married love of his life, got 23 comments, 150 likes. So let's say I liked, comment, and shared his post. Then LinkedIn would increase my SSI score because I'm engaging with my prospects and engaging on the content. So other things you can do also is join pods. So here is one of my pods I have on LinkedIn for getting you more engagement on your posts. I'm just going to pop this into the chat box here. If you join the group, the whole idea is how do you put a link to your post or your content on the engagement pod? Other people can go onto it. They can click on this link over here, and now I can, comment, like, and share this person's post on LinkedIn. And that's the whole idea for my engagement pod that I designed to be able to people can post things. So yeah, so people are asking me, anybody can post videos and anybody can get approved for LinkedIn Live, but I find that it's very, very important to bug LinkedIn on a regular basis. To be approved for LinkedIn Live, you simply go to your help section, open link, new tab, and then you're looking for a way to contact LinkedIn, top left-hand side, the bottom left-hand side here, contact us. And then about something else, and get help from us. And then you put another, and you can put in LinkedIn Live. Press enter. And then for more help, leave us a message and create a support ticket. And then you put in the support ticket, I'd like to be approved for LinkedIn Live. Know that you want to start working on your company page as far as posting the same content on your company page to get engagement on that page. Because if you're creating events, so here's my event on LinkedIn that you guys came to today. If you notice, my event here is put on by my company page, not by myself personally. And if you create a LinkedIn Live and you have your company page for company page approved for LinkedIn Lives, then when you create events on LinkedIn through your LinkedIn Live for your company page, you'll have this part over here, manage event, manage attendees, and then you can have download registration details, which gives you a CSV of not only people's information as far as their names and LinkedIn profiles, but their email addresses as well. And I don't spam people on my email addresses on LinkedIn, but I do try to notify them about upcoming events, like I notified you guys a couple of times about the link for the Zoom link here, about questions possibly to ask on LinkedIn, and that's how that works over there. Articles and posts. Clients always ask me why it's important to be posting articles and posts on a regular basis, because it shows you're the absolute authority in your industry, and because the new way of marketing and lead generation on LinkedIn is by showing people the great content that can actually help them out on LinkedIn. Don't just post content like, says buy from me, or we're coming up to this new webinar. I post my articles and I create video content on LinkedIn that will actually help my possible clients, as well as show that I'm the absolute authority on these things, to make sure that when they do talk to me on a Zoom call, I'm the guy, I'm the person they want to talk to, and that barrier to, the threshold they say to trusting somebody has gone away. Content marketing is the most underrated, most important things in 2021, 2022, and the most type of content to create is video content. Look at this person, Bridget Hyacinth. I can't even pronounce her name even. I've been following Bridget now. Hyacinth. I've been following Bridget now for I don't know how many years. And now she has over 3,600,000 followers because she creates content that people engage with. And she's an HR person. She writes these passionate posts about hiring and firing people. I remember one post that had unreal engagement. It had like 10,000 comments and 100,000 views on it. It was about a person who came to a interview and was soaking wet, came to a job interview 30 minutes late, and the person, like she was at a company supporting them for these job interviews, and the person said, oh, this person just came in, they're half an hour late and soaking wet, I'm going to send them home. And she said, well, wait a minute, let's hear their story. And the story was that the person's car broke down. They ran all the way to the job interview. That shows commitment, that shows passion, that shows the kind of person who won't be stopped by anything at all. They hired the person finally with Bridget's approval, and the best employee they've ever had in the whole company. So writing articles and posts, show vulnerability in your post. I wrote a video about how I broke my leg back in October of 2020. I didn't know it was broken for, 2.5 months. And in January of 2021, I got my surgery. You know, just it just shows you how important family is. So make sure you're posting content, and especially video content, that shows your passion, but also shows you can be vulnerable on LinkedIn. People are not going to laugh at you, you know, and so what do they do? Who cares, right? They're not your customers anyways. So your experience section on LinkedIn, which is, you know, your jobs on LinkedIn, who are you, what do you do? You know, making sure that you have information on here for your experience section that aligns with what you're doing now. So it's very, very important. Like I had a guy who was transitioning from being a professional photographer to a person who sells life insurance and does like a financial advisor. And so we had to take most of the photography stuff off his profile on LinkedIn, because people go there and go, well, are you the best photographer in the world, or are you the best financial advisor? People get confused, and the confused mind says no. So it's very, very important that all your experiences on LinkedIn have something to do with what you're doing for yourself nowadays, like right now. So here's a sample of my experience on LinkedIn. Here's my profile. Here's my summary on the experience section. Once again, smattered with LinkedIn lead generation. As you can see, the phrase in my top sentence over here. So people find me when they type in, you know, lead generation or LinkedIn lead generation on the search bar on LinkedIn. People can find me. Very, very important. So the LinkedIn event platform. Wow. You know, how many of you, maybe put a yes or no in the chat box here, how many of you can put together a webinar or a educational marketing piece that you can promote for yourself on LinkedIn? Very, very important that you're using the LinkedIn event platform, because it gives you access to 880 million people worldwide. You can bring people in to promote your webinars for you or promote your events for you. I have affiliates who send people to my webinars. Here's an example of what that looks like here on LinkedIn. So once I have my event happening, now because my event started already, I don't have the invite part here anymore. But once I did have the invite part over here, let me just find another, maybe another event on LinkedIn I can quickly join for you and show you the invite per thing here. So here is, let's say I want to find an event on marketing, another marketing event. Marketing. I type in marketing on LinkedIn, I press the enter key, I go to events. Let's see here. So where is events? It had marketing here a second ago. I know I had just had it a second ago, it popped up. So for some reason my events here aren't showing up properly. Let's go to LinkedIn and maybe go to events. So here's events on LinkedIn, 85 events. So these are all past events. I'm trying to find the newest events coming up. So show more, see all, here we are. No, not showing the event still. People you may know, recommended pages for you. Used to have events. Here's events. Here's online events for you. Okay, so here's one coming up. Jobs fair in Vancouver. I'll say I'm going to attend event. There we are. And then once I can attend the event, now I can click on the invite button, and all my contacts on LinkedIn come up here. And then you can scroll through the contacts either by location. Let's say I want to do or find people to invite to the event only in my city, Calgary here, apply. And then if you have a PC, I find it doesn't work very well on Macs, but I can just click on my PC thing here and scroll down and then just click on all the boxes at one time. So click on the top box here and it does all of everybody at one time. So I can invite 100 people to my event, or you can find people who will affiliate for you on LinkedIn to invite people to your event. The event platform. How do you create an event on LinkedIn? Well, let's go back to the event platform for a second. So let's say I want to create an event on LinkedIn. Once again, go to the home page, click on the Event Plus button. A new window pops up. I put my banner in here, my logo. I choose whether or not it's the organizer is my company page or my personal page. If I choose my personal page, unfortunately, that little thing I showed you beforehand that has the download people's registration details, that does not show up. So when you use a company page, you can get people's event details. That's why I always tell my clients to make sure that when they created an event on LinkedIn, they're doing it through the company page, not their personal page at all. And then you can pop in the link, and then make sure also you click on the use a LinkedIn registration form to make sure that you get people's email addresses. And then you can put any kind of privacy page in here. All LinkedIn is looking for is linked to your website with the word privacy at the very, very end. So the hottest thing, once again, as far as content marketing is video. And once again, you can see the kind of engagement you can get from creating videos on LinkedIn. 380 comments, 26,000 views, 531 comments, 27,000 views, 576 comments, and 43,000 views. So very, very important. Here's my trade show strategy one.
Hey, it's Alan Fine here again with a great idea for your trade show.
Trade shows will be making a big comeback in 2022.
So, if you're putting on a trade show, a live one, here's a great idea to have your exhibitors promote your show for you and get them some great leads. Number one, go into all your exhibitors' LinkedIn accounts and create the same event. Number two, use the same banner and same information for each individual exhibitor with a slightly different copy as far as what booth number they're in or something different. Number three, start inviting your exhibitors' lists of their first connections to the event. Number four, once people have accepted to come to that event, you'll be able to provide that exhibitor with a list of people, including their email addresses, so they can email them, once again, inviting them to their booth at the event. It's so important to engage prospects before the event happens because people will buy from people they know, like, and trust. And it's so important to create that relationship with people before they come down to the booth. If all this, though, sounds very complicated, contact me. I can do it for a low cost of $60 per exhibitor. And that promotes the heck out of your trade show, where you'll be getting thousands of attendees over and above what you normally might get. If you found this information valuable, please contact me and share this post. And once again, have a great day. Bye-bye.
There you go. So creating videos like this, also another important thing to know is that 75% of people on LinkedIn watch videos with no sound. They're in a doctor's office or a meeting on their cell phone doing something else. So make sure you have those captions on the very, very bottom of your LinkedIn videos. People can read the information as opposed to just, looking at the video and hearing it. Well, I hope you guys got some great information from today's webinar. And then I told you beforehand, here's what we can do, Dave and I can do for you to help you with your LinkedIn strategy and your email marketing strategy and your business. So we have a great deal and offer for you. Here is the great deal and offer. I'll just grab this from the link here. I want to pop a link into the chat box. David, want to pop that in there?
Yep.
And then here is the link here. We have some great offers for you. What I'll do on the offer for my part goes, I'll do a full profile makeover for you. That includes a Zoom session to go over what your strategy should be. I'll do a new cover banner. I'll help you create a new headshot. I'll optimize your LinkedIn profile. I'll talk to you about video creation and video marketing. I'll reorder your skills and endorsements, and I'll record everything for you so you can follow things step by step. I normally charge $1,500 for my service. And then David has a great part of his package also. David, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier the Profit Acceleration software program that we use, a proprietary software program. We'll do a complete analysis of 12 different areas of focus for sales and marketing for your business, provide you a report on that, and also offer a roadmap so that you can actually look at how you can implement that program. And then we also have a weekly email with tips and ideas on how you can build your marketing, looking at those five different areas that we analyze. In addition to that, we have an e-learning video once a week that you'll receive, again, talking about the various areas of your business that you can build your marketing on. And I'll touch base with you once a month and spend 45 minutes with you, helping you implement what you've learned over that time period. This is a one-year program, so typically it's worth $2,000. And so between Alan and I, what we're offering you is valued at $3,500, but we're giving you, as an attendee of this program, this complete package with Alan and I for $997 US. And you can also break it down in payments if you like. You can see the payments on the system here now. And so if that's something that you would like to do, just reach out to us. You can you can make payment by Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Interact, or direct deposit. And be happy to chat with you more about this. If you'd like to know more information, let me just provide our contact information as well.
I'm putting our email addresses in the chat box right now.
Yeah, exactly. I've got that. Yeah.
Great.
So also, if you'd like to find out more information, just feel free to contact us. I'm going to put a couple of links in here as well, where you can find some free information on my website.
Yeah, there'll be a free recording going out afterwards. I'll have the recording. It's actually going to go onto the event page. So I'll put the recording on this page over here after I do my magic to it and get it to be a decent file size. And then you go from there. So unmute yourselves. Any questions you guys have, we'll be very, very happy to answer for you right now. Anybody have any questions about LinkedIn?
I have a question.
Yes,
Can I ask you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yes.
So they had three I wrote down. You were saying about the hashtags. When you go up and you search marketing, and then it comes up marketing, different things. Is it in the order of the number of people that are searching it? Or,
in popularity. So the biggest hashtag you can see on the screen right now is marketing. Marketing digital is the second one. Marketing agency is the third one. Marketing and advertising, the fourth one. So if you want to see what people are writing about, and then you can click on a hashtag. Let's say I click on marketing advertising. People who are using that hashtag on their content and their posts, these who they are. They're actually doing this. So,
I know how that works, but I didn't know if it was
Yeah, and a great way of getting those clients in front of you possibly is to engage with their content. You know, if I wanted to get, let's say, Parker as one of my clients, I could go onto his information. I could like it, comment, share it, and Parker will see that I'm liking, sharing, and commenting, and hopefully he'll get back to me on the question I asked, and he'll engage with me in return.
And when you have your own personalized, I used to use the personalized before last year or maybe the year before, but that's only you, or some people might actually use it. Is that advisable or not?
And what do you mean by that, personalized? I
mean, you know, you have what do you have? Lead wizard, maybe. That's, I don't know if you have your person.
Yeah. So let's take a look. Is anybody looking for lead wizard on? No. So so no one's looking for that at all.
For instance, she has Sunshine or Shine or that. She has her own.
Let's see if anybody's looking for that at all.
What's the yeah, I'm sure what's the benefit of having your own
Yeah, I mean, you
personalized one?
you could put those in as one of those hashtags, so you could actually promote that and tell your clients, you want to find my content, use
Yeah.
this hashtag. You can actually put that in your posts.
Yeah, hashtags are mostly subject oriented. So what
Yeah.
people would search for, if they don't know you exist, they probably won't search for you through a hashtag.
Yeah.
So, but you know, as Alan
But
mentioned,
if
you
you
can put in
promote it, you promote
marketing.
it. Yeah, if you promote it in your actual posts and tell
Yeah.
people, you want to find my content, use this hashtag.
Yeah.
If you
Then
have
I
questions,
had
by the way, just pop them into chat as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
question?
had one more question.
Yep.
Where do you find if your profile is optimized?
Yeah, so if your profile is optimized, you can actually go onto it. As you scroll down, this little box pops up. It says add section and more, but also it'll right here where it says strengthen your profile. In this section, it'll tell you how optimized your profile is, and it actually will tell you what section to add or to change or beef up to make your profile fully optimized.
Okay.
Anybody else
And
have
one
questions?
more thing
Go
that
ahead.
you
Yes.
had, sorry, I had,
No problem. Yeah. Go ahead.
you said for the event, you should
Yeah.
post your event on your company page. But then you
as
mentioned
well as your
about,
personal profile.
yeah, and then you mentioned something about LinkedIn Live. Like I have LinkedIn Live on my personal profile.
Yeah.
But should you send it from? Could you use it from your company page too?
Yeah, you can actually get approved for LinkedIn Live on your company page, but there are metrics to achieve.
Okay.
You can just contact me after this to talk about those metrics. Because if you get LinkedIn Live for your company page and you're creating them from your company page, once again, when you do your event on LinkedIn, you'll have that download registration detail button, which is over here, manage event, manage attendees. So if you do your event and you do it from your personal page, this part over here, download registration details won't appear. And you won't be able to get the CSV file that has people's information like their email addresses and their names.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Anybody else at all have questions for David or myself? No questions at all. We must have done a phenomenal job of training you guys today. That's great.
How long is this price good for?
Yeah, we'll keep this price on to the end of the week. So maybe till Sunday.
Okay, thank you.
Once again, just contact us. We'll be happy to, if you have any more questions about it, you can book also. Here's my, let's just stop sharing for a second. I just want to pull this up here. And I'll share in a second again. I was going to pull up my Calendly link to pop into the chat box here. Chat. So you can book this with myself or David. And I can have David on the phone call if we want to talk to both of us at the same time. But you want to book a session for myself or David, then feel free to do so.
Yeah, I'll pop that in there as well.
Yeah, please do, David.
Yeah, there's my calendar link.
Perfect.
I was going to also mention just to everybody as well, I put some links in there for some free resources on my website. So there is a link to the profit acceleration software, just explains it in more detail and depth. There's some free video training. There's a link there for that. You can sign up to my e-newsletter. You're not going to get spammed. It's going to give you useful, helpful content that will improve your marketing. And you'll receive, after we finish this webinar, we're going to send out a copy or a link to my ebook as well. So some of the information I shared with you today is just spelled out in more detail in an ebook format.
Yep.
And so hopefully that'll be helpful as well. And there's a bunch of links in there. So we're going to follow up with an email as well. It'll give you all the links that we put into this chat window, just so you'll have those as well.
Perfect.
Is there any other questions at all? Anything about the 5 different areas of focus in your business as far as marketing?
Or about video creation?
That's
okay.
Great.
We did a great job today. Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Mark
Yep.
has one.
Or I couldn't unmute myself fast enough.
There you go.
So, Alan,
Yeah.
on the LinkedIn profile, we have two areas that I find that most people aren't really optimizing, and
Okay.
that is the pronunciation icon
Yep.
that people can use, and then also telling the headline story.
Yep.
The video, the kickoff video, when you have your profile picture,
Yep.
there you can set it up so that you can do a quick little 30, I think it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen with
That's
you.
30 seconds. And then the audio one is 8 seconds.
Yep. 10 seconds, actually, I think.
Is
So
it
here's
10?
my audio one. I was going to share my sound.
Hi, I'm Alan Fine from LinkedIn Leads, and I can get you a never-ending stream of leads from LinkedIn.
And then also you saw my little picture here change with my little things. All these things are done actually from your mobile phone also. There's my little video I recorded that you can watch.
Yeah, really super way for people to get to know you.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, Mark, for reminding us about those things. I said there's so much content to cover on LinkedIn. You know, one of the things that drives me crazy about LinkedIn, and I often talk to LinkedIn about this also, is you want to do something on LinkedIn, you Google it, you go to an actual LinkedIn interior page, and the information is old or outdated or wrong. And who do you ask, right? So I'm hoping can be your resource to ask those questions, because now I actually have a contact at LinkedIn I can contact anytime I want to. Okay.
Thank you so much for the info.
See you guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.